Hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is David Samuel, and I want to just talk about one of the principles I've come up with to help convey the goal of emotional independence, or a way to understand, really as an analogy, the way to find great happiness in this life and emotional balance. The principle is, or the analogy is, to be like the most powerful force in nature. That's our goal, is to attain this emulation of something we see every day, everywhere on the planet. The most powerful force, stronger than the sun, stronger than anything else in the material universe. More resilient, more flexible, more objective, more fair, more unjudgmental is a cloud. It's beautiful white puffy clouds on a blue sky day that add a lovely decoration. The cloud that gives us shade from the sun, the cloud that brings us rain so that we have water to live with, to feed our plants, to grow the trees. The cloud that can be so strong it blots out the sun, cuts out all sunlight to any degree, from just a little bit of shade to almost totally blocked out where you can't see the sun at all. So even the sun can't reach us if the clouds choose not to let it. And yet, as powerful as that is, a plane, or you, could go right through a cloud without it having any effect whatsoever. The cloud doesn't move out of our way, doesn't get damaged. It absorbs, you go through, and it's exactly the same once you've come out the other side. It doesn't change, doesn't get angry, doesn't block us. It stays stable. In other words, its mood doesn't change, right, when we go through it. And then on the other hand, you can't make a real cloud. You cannot destroy the cloud, move the cloud. I'm not talking about a little puff of cloud, right? We're speaking of the clouds in the sky. You can't move it, you can't change it, you can't make it, you can't destroy it, you can't upset it. And yet it can do so much. From lovely decorations to blotting out the sun. They say that what caused the Ice Age was a massive meteor hit the Earth and created a dust cloud so intense that this cloud blocked out the sun, that the temperature of the Earth dropped so much we had an ice age. The cloud in the air. And that same cloud, we can't move it, change it. So that is what we strive to emulate in a concept. When we apply the concepts that words have no meaning, no power, no physical force whatsoever. You could knock someone over with your voice. It's not the words they speak, but the strength of their voice scares you. The pitch of a person's voice could shatter glass, but it's not the words like abracadabra and supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. No, words are not magic. Words have no power. So what happens is we give words power in our own mind. We have taken a sound which was not loud enough to cause any effect, which was not high-pitched enough to break glass, and we take those words into our own mind and give them solid form and turn them into a weapon which cuts away at our heart, our emotions, which fuels anger, Words are like a match to the fuse that blows up the dynamite in your heart, in your mind. So when you combine the two concepts, that words have absolutely no meaning. For example, if a person is deaf and blind, so they can't hear you and they can't read your lips, you could talk to them forever and they will not have any reaction whatsoever. You can insult them, you can compliment them, you can say the most beautiful words of love, you can say the most angry words of hate, and that person will not react whatsoever, will they? So your words, all words, have no value, no intrinsic value in themselves. So if the words are the jet plane and you are the cloud, those words can pass right through you and you will remain totally stable. You won't be affected in any way. You won't get angry, you won't get upset, you won't freak out. You won't get elated thinking that those are lovely words meant for you, only to be deflated even worse when you find out that they were talking to somebody else. And you got a text or an email meant for someone else they wanted to send it to. So when we combine these two concepts, it's as simple as that. But it takes time for you to accept it, maybe a week or two, by proof, by observing how you react emotionally to words, and then reflecting upon where was the effect? How did the words affect you? If you were deaf and blind, would those words have affected you the same way? No. So therefore, you cannot get angry and blame the person who said those words to you as the one who got you angry. You got yourself angry. So this is where in ethicalism, the first ethic, which is taking 100% of responsibility for everything in your life, including your moods and emotions, comes in. Wherein taking the responsibility by having objectively observed the reality that the speaker, their words, had no effect on you, but that you interpreted the words and generated a reaction all on your own, because those words have no power in themselves, that you became a mountain or a building that a plane flew into, rather than a cloud. And again, by taking responsibility, you chose to materialize yourself into either a building or a mountain or a cloud. You could be a mountain, and everyone in the plane, even if it is just that one person who is talking to you, will crash and die. In other words, your emotional reaction, getting angry, getting frustrated, getting very negative, will affect the other person, right? Because in one example where I was giving a talk to a group of troubled adults, and I was explaining that, you can yell and scream at someone, but they're just words. One fellow actually got out of his chair and raised his arms and raised his he was ready to beat me up because he took those words so emotionally. So now let's say it's just a normal conversation. Someone is saying something to you. You happen to be a little bit on the violent side, and you react and start a fight. That person will fight back. So you see, often you're actually just that mountain where the plane hits you and your reaction ends up killing perhaps the relationship or your job or something like that. But yet if you were a cloud and you let those words pass through you, knowing that words themselves have no value, but that you have given them value, and now you have chosen to let that person vent as if they've have a little digestive problem, to put it politely, and it just has to be vented. So you have compassion for their suffering, right? somebody is sick. And humans are sick. We're all sick. We're all sick and tired of life at times. Frustrated, stressed, angry. Can you find me how many people are not sick in this way, in this analogy, that they need to vent? And so in allowing that, with compassion, understanding that they can't hurt you, understanding the compassion that they are, in a way, sick and need to vent, and that you have the option to be a cloud, and to allow everything to pass through you, and then it'll go on its way. Right? Planes don't often go in circles in clouds. No, they just go right through and continue on their way. And that person will continue on their way, and that event will also continue on its way. And go somewhere you not know where. Life is very simple. Conflicts, fights, angers, and all the repercussions that come with that all vanishes, just like the cloud disappearing and the sun coming out. I hope you're going to gain value from this little concept. You're welcome to contact me and talk about it further, discuss it even more. Look at ethicalism.org. It's like ethicsism, ethicalism.org. Look at our ethics. And then, yes, hopefully the sun will shine a lot more in your life. Good luck.